Metroidvania game that is pretty short and yeah, I think very fun game to play. So you will see that we start out with quite limited options of what we can do, but we will get items and power-ups throughout the run to help us do things faster and more different. So the race has started now, and sometimes, yeah, as in a lot of games, rolling is the fastest default way of movement. So you will see them rolling everywhere. And sometimes you will also see them roll in the air, which is called a roll jump, which is done by rolling and jumping at the same frame, which is a neat little trick that is very useful in this run.
Yeah, definitely very useful. So our basic options with your character here are a melee attack, a ranged attack, and then as Fox said, you can roll and jump. And you're just going to see our players here just rolling through everything. As he said, it's the fastest movement and it's also invincible while you are rolling, so you can just roll right through enemies and not have to worry about them.
Yes. You will also see the players pick up 3 chests during this segment. That is in order to gather a bit of money, which will be used to buy an item that will boost their damage during the early fights. And that's the only use money has in this run.
Yeah. So this area is kind of tricky. The imps around here are very random. They can just instantly change directions. They can throw knives. Some of them throw poison bombs. So there's a lot of maneuvering that you have to do to get around the imps, and you have to react to where they're going. Seems like both runners are doing a good job. Not getting hit too much. Unfortunately, Zoph misses this elevator cycle here, so he has to wait for it to come back down.
Yeah. Yeah, the imps can be really nasty with their movement sometimes. Yeah. And now heyyyhoooo is up against the first boss, and he's trying to do a quick kill. Let's see. And he gets it. The boss has a weak spot on that big glowing pearl, and there is a weird interaction if you hit it with several arrows at the same time, which causes her to take massive damage, and Zoph gets it gets the quick kill as well.
Very nice. So in this game, if you defeat a boss without getting hit or healing during the fight, the bosses will drop an item. From Medea, she drops Pearl, which gives a poison property to our arrows. So when you shoot, a little cloud of smoke appears, and that poisons the enemy, but it can also poison you if you walk into the cloud.
Yes. And you might have seen them talk to the shopkeeper there to buy the crystal tear. I think
Crystal seed. Yeah.
Crystal seed. Oh, yeah, and it increases the damage you do by 50% for a short while.
I goes on to Mocha, which is the first part of the second boss encounter. You saw him menued there just now to equip the crystal seed and then unequip the Medal of Equivalence, which heals you. It's one of the items you get in easy mode, and it can screw you over with the boss item if you happen to take damage before going into the fight, because it just passively heals you. Very nice pattern from Lubella on heyyyhoooo's side. No dives. Manages to kill her while avoiding the poison. Picks up the Bachman patch as a reward.
Yeah, Zoph was a bit unlucky with Mocha and did not manage to bring him down low enough to transition before that attack, so he had to wait. And he gets a dive as well, which that is always rough to get. Very
unlucky. So, as you can see, Lubella just disappears off the screen for about 12 seconds here, and the only damage you can do to her is from poison that you inflicted beforehand, or the fairy, which is a secret item that you get. You activate the fairy by doing half of the Konami code. It just shoots a bunch of lasers.
Yeah. And now heyyyhoooo has entered subterranean graves as an underwater area. And in my opinion, one of the most dangerous areas in the speedrun, because there are a lot of spikes. And even on easy mode, spikes are an instant kill. So if he touches any of the spikes, he will die. Like on the floor in this room. And so any mistake can be really costly. There are some more riskier strats you can do here to roll jump over the spike. So if you miss a roll jump here, it will most likely lead to your death.
Yeah, and we can expect heyyyhoooo to be doing most of like the optimal strats, which are fairly dangerous. He's one of the top runners of this game, so I don't expect him to pull any punches, so to speak. So maybe it'll give Zoph a chance if he slips up on a roll jump somewhere. Ooh, and he gets the jellyfish spawn.
And yeah, it takes the safety save as well.
Probably a good idea. Since he's going to be
Race.
doing all the roll jumps, yeah.
Yeah.
Very easy to just miss and then fall into a pit of spikes. There's a little bit of detour in this area where you have to go out your way to get a key.
Oh, and heyyyhoooo falls down into spikes. Well, good that he took the safety save.
Yeah.
Gives us sort of a chance to catch up a bit. He's still a little bit behind, but
yeah, not too bad anymore.
Yeah.
Probably erase that dive from the difference.
Yeah.
So right, they went to pick up a key, which will allow them to progress to the next area afterwards. Alright, he gets through that pit this time.
Yeah. And now heyyyhoooo is approaching the third boss, Derelict Frida. Yeah. The Frida has one basic strategy where you just stand in the corner and spam arrows, which is completely safe and easy to execute for new runners. But you can do what he's doing now and go into melee, but then you actually need to dodge the attacks and react, which takes a bit of practice, but it's very satisfying, and it is very consistent, and it feels good when you know how to do it. But he gets very unlucky with with the worst attack Frida has, where she disappears from the screen, becoming unattackable and then reappearing where you were when it started. And he gets 2 of those, which is not very good.
Yeah, it's about 6 seconds time loss for 2 teleports, about 3 seconds each. But I managed to get through it, no problem. Picked up the next boss item, which is the sparse thread.
Yeah, and you can see Zoph taking it the more safe strategy with standing. Yeah, because the item you get from Frida is a very powerful it creates an explosion which does quite a bit of damage, and it makes the run go a lot faster, and it makes perfecting later bosses a lot easier. So it is a very important item for the speedrun. For those of you who were here earlier, I missed that item in the first run of my race. So, and that costs you several minutes to not get it, at least 2 minutes, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely can, if you mess up on bosses because of not having it. So this is the area that we unlocked with getting the garden key, and it's a pretty short area. You just come down here and fight Lubella 2, or Lubella the second time rather. This time she is more likely to dive. Her first attack isn't scripted like it is in the first fight, but heyyyhoooo gets a good pattern, doesn't get any dives again, and takes the scripted death here.
Yes. And now you get some new movement options in the game, because now you are turned into a cat. The cat can jump higher, it also runs faster. But as you will see soon, it cannot climb up the ladders. And rolling is not the fastest movement as a cat, because when you roll, you have sort of a recovery animation. So what we do is we roll jump as a cat, and then do a melee attack in the air to cancel the recovery animation. And now that is the fastest movement when you don't have to go up ladders.
Yeah, so pretty much the only time you're not using cat form is when you're going up ladders or fighting a boss, because you can't use items while you are in cat form. So Zoph also got a good pattern on Lubella too, no dives, gets through, and now he is in the cat section as well.
Yeah, oh yeah, we did not mention the Lubella 1 item you get. You have seen them use it. It spawns a lot of patches. They're called Bachman patches or Bachman blocks, which do, and when they fall like from off screen, and they do quite a bit of damage to whatever they hit. So right now it deals a nice bit of damage, but later it will be paired with another item from a boss, which will increase its damage even more, and also allow it to hit switches, which we will use to skip a section.
It's a very versatile item. Missing it costs a lot of time.
Yeah. And the item from Lubella 2 is an item that heals you when you kill enemies. So it's not used in the speedrun, so you don't have to worry about getting hit in that fight. Especially on easy, because you can tank quite a few hits before dying. So that fight is a lot less stressful on easy than on other difficulties.
Right, so what the runners are doing right now is they're doing some backtracking to go back to the grove, where they need to pick up the warp crest, which will allow them to warp between bells.
And you saw them enter a room inside of the monastery and then just go back. That is because entering a room unlocks the bell in that room for warping. So when they get the warp power, they will be able to just warp back to that bell. And heyyyhoooo with some swag strats, doing a clip through to get through that section.
Yeah, just a small silly zip. What you do is you transform into human form right at the wall there, and then roll on the first frame after the transformation, and you kind of get in under that little section where you can only go through as a cat, and the game just like spits you out on the other side.
Yeah, even if you get it perfectly, it's slower, I think, than just running through it.
Very slightly slower.
Yeah, so it's 100% a swag strat.
Yeah. Well, now we have the warp crest, and we are heading into the Cinder Chambers, where we will meet the next boss and a friend.
Yes.
So this section is pretty small. You just kind of fall through the entire thing, get to the boss fairly quickly, and enter the treacherous boss fight. A lot of people have difficulty with it, with good reason.
Yeah, there are a lot of things that can go wrong with this fight. If you're not careful, and even if you're careful, your friend can be a pain as well sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, some meleeing enemies can sometimes stagger them, but your friend can also stagger the boss, and if you're not careful, she can actually stagger the boss and knock her into you, so you get hit. And that is very bad, because this item, the Pocket Incensory, adds a fire effect to all of your attacks. So everything you do will do more damage. attacks will do more damage, and it also works on the Bachman patch. So the damage of the Bachman patch is increased a lot, and now it can also hit switches, which will be used later in the run.
Yep, so getting the pocket ancestry essentially triples your damage on Bachman patches. So it's pretty rough if you miss that item. You're doing a lot less damage, and some of the boss fights become a lot more difficult.
Yeah.
Oh, Zoph takes a hit.
Yeah, it can be very dangerous if you get trapped against a wall like that.
Yeah.
You can quite easily box yourself in and have trouble dodging attacks.
Yeah, luckily the save point is pretty close. It's not a huge time loss depending on when in the fight you get hit.
Yeah. And heyyyhoooo went and grabbed a key to get into this area and on to the next boss, Pardoner Fennel, which is casually a really cool and hard difficulty boss, but with the strats we're using, she melts and is a very consistent, easy fight to do.
Yeah, you pretty much just cheese her out with items and the fight lasts a few seconds. And for doing that fight without taking damage, you get the Tainted Missive, which is essentially the same thing as the Crystal Seed, just increases your damage by 2 times rather than 1.5, and it costs a little bit of health to use, a quarter your health each time.
Yeah. And the one thing with the Arsonist fight that Zoph just completed is, after the fight, you have to speak to Calf, our friend there. So you ideally want to have a Calf be close to you when the boss dies, but you also want the boss to die far to the right, so that the item drops near the exit as well. And he had quite a good kill location for that boss.
Yeah, you can kind of manipulate Arsonist to move around where you want her to, but she doesn't decide to teleport then. Really just comes down to luck. But it's not a huge time loss either way.
Right. And now heyyyhoooo is taking a small detour in order to grab the sealed wind up there. That is needed in order to get the true ending to the game, and that is also the ending you need for the speedrun. So yeah, after grabbing out, he will move through. He's taking the safety save as well before Lupiar.
That's kind of surprising.
Yeah, I thought it was faster to just power through it without the boss item from Lupiar and Magnolia.
Yeah, I guess he's probably just not comfortable with doing the queen fight without heavy arrows.
Yeah.
Oh.
And this fight he is on now is one of the most difficult fights and also one of the most random fights. And he gets the first phase, which is the danger phase, very well, and then the second phase is free, pretty much.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Zoph took a hit on Fennel. He does a different strat here. I haven't seen anyone do it this way, but seems to work out just about the same.
Yeah.
So Zoph is also going to be moving on to the Phoenix Pika after grabbing this last crest now. And heyyyhoooo is doing a backtrack now to use a sealed one and pick up the leaf upgrade that Fox was talking about.
And now you should see the Bachman patch you used there at the bell is used to open up a shortcut, which you normally you have to take a trip around the castle in order to be able to hit it, but yeah, with the Bachman patch and with the incensory you can cheese it and unlock it. And now he's opening up the windmill and upgrading the leaf. And that is what you need to get the true ending, is the upgraded leaf. So the leaf is now green and it does more damage. it is very helpful.
Yeah. So now that all the checklist is complete for beating the game, heyyyhoooo is going to be heading off to the final boss. There's just a mini boss that stands in his way. Yeah, some spike bits. He decides to not roll jump over them, which is probably a good idea.
Yes.
So bonking a few enemies on his way to Lupiar.
Yes,
Since this is easy mode, he's got a ton of health and doesn't really need to worry about it too much.
Yeah.
I don't think, well actually I have no idea, but I don't imagine he uses the Tainted Missive strat here, so probably even less worry about his health.
Yeah. But before the final boss, heyyyhoooo has a mini boss that is very quick with the speedrun stats. You use the 2 sparse threads you have, and then 2 melee hits buffed by Tainted Missive, and it dies. So that fight spawns a number of clones of itself, and if you hit the wrong one, it will do a punishment attack and do no damage to it. So you need to figure out which one is the real one and then kill it. And I think it's an oversight, but you can see which one is the real one by the angel that hovers the lowest above the ground. So yeah, if you look for that, you can easily spot it, spot which one is the fake. Otherwise, it has different colors on its attack. And now heyyyhoooo is on the final boss and does the first phase. Yeah, it's very cleanly. And the second phase as well. And now just the final phase left.
Easily gets the 1 cycle on both phases. Moves off to the last phase, which is unlocked by getting the leaf upgrade.
And this is a really good time from heyyyhoooo over here. For a race time, this is really good.
Yeah, 22:31. Very solid.
Yeah, and now Zoph is getting the upgraded leaf as well. And has trek through the castle to the final boss.
Alright, well, Zoph doing a good job just navigating through here. There isn't too many enemies to worry about, so it's mostly just not jumping into spike pits.
Yeah, in the speedrun sense, the final area is not one of the most difficult. One of the most difficult in terms of pure platforming, I would say, is the Royal Pinacoteca, which has
for sure.
a lot of precise jumps. Yeah, if you want to go fast, at least.
Does a fine job of killing the angel there. Uh-oh. Alright. Things are getting a little zany here, but he survives.
Yeah.
Pretty much no way to die now with the amount of HP you have on easy.
Yeah. What can happen though is if you can accidentally take the elevator down, and once you have activated an elevator, you have to ride it to the end. You can't jump off it. So if you accidentally do that, you'd lose a lot of time.
Yeah, especially if a skeleton falls on top of you afterwards.
Yes, definitely that can hurt. So Zoph is now on the final boss. He does not go for the quick first phase.
Yeah, he just kind of decides to face tank Queen's attack there, which you can do on easy mode and it still works, but it just barely misses one cycle. Should be okay for this one. He's not gonna have enough damage with the sparse thread now. So this is the issue with not getting the one cycle on the second phase. You have to wait for these little triangle swirlies to disappear, but it's not too big of a deal.
You can jump and hit the boss area, but it's quite a precise jump. But yeah, and the final phase, if you have all the items that both the runners got, is pretty easy. And there he did sub 26 GG. And the first race, yeah, went to heyyyhoooo, and well played by both the runners in the first race.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky for Zoph. Got some bad RNG and then took a few hits on bosses, but aside from that, clean play from both runners, I'd say.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Two solid rounds. heyyyhoooo, a really, really good round from heyyyhoooo. So what is the current world record at? It's
For any percent easy, the current world record is 2150 by heyyyhoooo.
yeah, so only 40 seconds roughly behind the world record in a race. That is a really good time.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like most of his time loss was just from taking safety saves, taking fewer risky strats.
Yeah, true. Yeah, he did need one of the safety saves in the subterranean graves when he accidentally missed a roll jump and fell down into this pit of spikes. Yes.
Yeah, it's a good thing he took that save. Would have been a very different race if he hadn't.
Yeah.
Dying there, you have to watch the cutscene again. So, waiting for game 2 to start up. heyyyhoooo has decided to kill all the enemies in the grove, I guess. And New Game Plus.
Yeah. Easy and normal have less enemies than hard and insane difficulties have, but when you enter New Game Plus, you get the same amount of enemies as in hard and insane. So there are more enemies now than during the regular run.
No, this is another roll jump.
Yeah. Especially on insane, where you only have 1 health, the imps can be a big pain in the first area. Because they are so unpredictable, and if you get hit, you die. It doesn't really mesh well with trying to go fast, because you can't really just have one strat and it always works. You really have to react to what the imps are doing, like how are they moving, are they attacking, or and a lot of different things.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
The grove is actually one of the hardest parts of the run, execution wise, if you want to get consistent at it.
And insane, I would agree for sure.
Yeah.
And easy and normal, not so much.
And I'm mainly run insane. That's why I think like this pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, insane is very stressful run. And now I guess they are preparing for the next run.
Yeah, I don't know how people just always run insane. It's like a nightmare.
Yeah, insane can be really rough. But that also means you have to be very consistent with what you do. Now that Zoph is done with all the post-game cutscenes, I guess they are setting up for race number 2.
Hopefully. Looks like there might be some confusion as to who starts the race room. Okay. Should be getting started any second.
Oh, nice. Yeah, let's hope heyyyhoooo remembers to reset his timer as well. Yeah.
Okay. The countdown has started. So let's see what happens this time. Maybe the RNG will be reversed.
Yeah.
Zoph did get a lot of dives.
Yeah, there is nothing you can do to not get a dive. There is no way, at least we know, that you can do to manipulate the dives or anything. You just have to do as much damage as you can and pray that she doesn't dive, that she's nice to you.
Yep.
And here we are at the start of race 2.
So you might have noticed that the background color is different for the two runners here, and that's just due to playing on low quality settings, I think. For some reason it's... Oh no, that is a very unfortunate death.
Yeah, if you try to be too fast there, you can jump. You jump a bit too early. It's always rough when that happens.
Yeah, just trying to slightly optimize and get over there frame perfectly, and if you don't do it quite right, then you just fall on the spikes and die, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Taking it a little bit safer this time. So, oh yeah, and as you might have seen heyyyhoooo do there, he shot that orb, that switch, without killing that imp, without killing the imps. That's actually a strat that I found, and that is my small optimization to this game, and which I'm really proud of.
Alright, relax. But yeah, when you hit enemies with your melee attack from the air, or if you kill an enemy with your melee attack, Kaho freezes for a number of frames. So avoiding actually killing enemies or hitting them with your aerial melee does save a decent amount of time.
Oh yeah, heyyyhoooo only got 79 money after that chest, and yeah, he got the last money from the imp before the boss, so he was prepared. Let's see if he gets the quick kill this time as well. Yes, he gets the quick kill.
Nails it.
Very, very clean. Zoph gets the early cycle this time around, which is nice.
Yeah, it definitely helps. He's pretty much starting out with a 50-second deficit just because of that small mistake.
It's not truly 50 seconds, like at least 15 seconds of those are the opening cutscene of the game.
Oh yeah,
So,
that's true.
but yeah, it's still a hefty time loss. And Zoph does not manage to get the quick kill this time. So now we will see the actual fight. And I think it's a bit sad that the quick kill exists, because it is actually a cool, I think it's a really cool fight to do. And it does require a bit of practice in order to execute it well.
It's interesting. And I think like a lot of people who play the game casually are surprised that you can just kind of stand right next to Dea and not take any damage.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the influences for this game is Dark Souls. So you could see it as the Dark Souls way of hug the boss in order to more easily dodge its attacks, or just an oversight in its design. But... Oh, heyyyhoooo getting poisoned on Lubella too. Oh no, that's Lubella 1. My bad.
Yeah, so there you go. That equalizes things.
So now Zoph is ahead.
So yeah, heyyyhoooo decides to reset. I think probably a good decision. Not having the bottom patch is really hard to actually do all the fights later on. It just kind of turns into a spiral effect where you are lacking one item, so you can't kill the next boss quick enough, and you get hit, and you lose their item. Yeah. So he decides to just not deal with any of that.
Yeah, and especially this early on, because the Bachman patch will save time on every boss after it, and it was also used in this skip in Karst City. So yeah, the Bachman patch is definitely one of the most important items of this run.
Yeah, definitely.
And Zoph doing a clean kill on Lubella. So now Zoph is slightly ahead. Let's see where this race goes.
More than slightly now.
Yeah.
heyyyhoooo gets a dive also.
Maybe this will go to a race free.
It is possible. All Zoph needs to do now is just, you know, not make any huge mistakes.
Yeah.
A pretty fair lead. Looks like about 35-second lead for Zoph right now. But you know, heyyyhoooo is one of the best runners, so he's gonna make up time slowly, just through every section, doing more optimal movement.
Yeah. And the underwater parts, you move more slowly, but you can swim, so which gives you sort of an infinite jump. So yeah, but rolling is still as fast as on as regularly, so you really want to be rolling as much as you can. That's why you saw Zoph land on that little platform with the chest there in order to get an extra roll jump.
Yeah.
The roll movement is very important in this underwater section.
Yeah. And so there's a chair in the background there on Zoph's screen. Let's see what it is when he comes out. Oh, still a chair, but it turned around. And I like looking at like the random stuff in the background. I don't know why it's randomly generated, but it is. It's kind of funny when sometimes you go in there and there's like a huge table, and then when you come back out, it's just a chair. Oh,
Yeah.
Zoph gets the jellyfish.
Yeah, that jellyfish looks dangerous and really scary if you don't know that it's just part of the background.
Yeah.
So I have seen several people try to hit it or dodge it because they think it's an enemy.
Yeah, I think I tried to. On my first playthrough, I got that spawn. It scared me.
Yeah, it does look very scary. Let's see, does heyyyhoooo take the safety save? He does take the safety save this time as well. Let's see if he will have to use it or not.
Hopefully not.
Yeah. Yeah, in the room Zoph is in now, when you return from after the boss fight, you use the bomb thrower on the lower part to destroy the wall. If you are lucky, he can destroy the wall when you're moving towards the boss. And I actually got that during my second run, my second race earlier today. But it's very rare and it's just something you can hope for.
Yeah,
it's a small time save that is nice if you get, but it's really hard to. It's just lucky if you get it.
Yeah, and if you move through that screen as fast as possible, then there's actually no chance of it happening anyway. So it's kind of like you lose time to hope for luck later on to gain time.
Yeah. And as you can see, heyyyhoooo has caught up quite a bit now, being only, I'm not sure, like 10 seconds behind or something.
Yeah, something like that.
So he has made up a lot of time since his earlier deaths or recent. Oh, yeah, around 15 seconds.
Yeah, and both of them having no problem on Frida. They both got the sparks thread. Unlucky heyyyhoooo didn't get the wall break on the first throw. That happened to Zoph last race, I believe. He didn't get it on the first throw either.
Okay.
Just something that can happen. Oh, heyyyhoooo doing some swag strats here.
Oh wow. Okay, I see. I see.
So in easy mode, you get an item that increases the amount of time that you're invincible after you take a hit. So he used one of the enemies in the back at the top of the screen to hit him into the next screen, and then use the invincibility to just roll through the spikes in that area. So he doesn't have to wait for the little swinging platform. Pretty ballsy to do some swag strats like that when you're behind, but I guess he's confident.
Oh, and Zoph being very unlucky with a dive on Lubella too. The Bachman patch can hit her when she is off screen, because her hitbox just sinks far below the ground. But she takes a lot less damage. So, and it costs quite a bit of time. Yeah. And heyyyhoooo also getting a dive when she has very low health.
I'm surprised she's not taking damage from poison.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess they both get dives, so about the same amount of time taken for each fight. heyyyhoooo actually got the best pattern for Lubella when she starts off the fight with the ground balls. That's the only pattern where, if executed properly, you can guarantee you get no dive. So he's probably kicking himself over that.
Yeah. And now it's time for some kitty movement here.
This is going to be interesting watching like heyyyhoooo slowly catch up just through better movement in this section, which is essentially all movement.
Yeah. Yeah, quite often you will see players practicing roll jumping during that elevator because you have nothing else to do, and it's free practice time for a frame perfect trick.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well. Sometimes you see other people just mess around and, drag the kitty's butt over the floor. So you can see the difference in the movement here. Just Zoph is doing like larger jumps when he's doing his roll jump cancels, and then heyyyhoooo is doing shorter ones. And in these sections where it's just long horizontal stretches, the more roll jumps you do, the more time you're saving.
Yeah, and
so it's like each of these like roll jumps that Zoph is doing is like saving 10 frames or something. But then like each of the ones heyyyhoooo is doing is saving 7, but he's doing 2 of them in the time that it takes Zoph to do 1. So it all adds up.
Yeah, and Zoph is also missing a few roll jumps. If you pay close attention, there is a slight difference in the sound it makes. So sometimes he's just jumping and attacking, which doesn't speed you up, but it doesn't slow you down either compared to running.
Right. And it's better than messing up and just rolling without jumping, because that dagger animation is really slow.
But it does look very cute, as you can. But yeah, Zoph is still ahead now. This is a really good race here.
Yeah, probably one of the closest races so far in the tournament. Let's see how long it lasts before someone makes a big mistake.
Zoph turning into moving out of the cat form during the small elevator segment, which I believe is not optimal, because if you are in cat form you can jump slightly higher and get up on that platform earlier, I would assume.
Yeah, you can get up onto the platform a bit earlier as cat form, because it's not that you jump higher, it's just that your collision box is smaller, so you can just kind of like edge over the top a little bit earlier. It's essentially the illusion of jumping higher. heyyyhoooo taking advantage of the invincibility there once again. Normally you have to do a double jump to avoid a bomb from the bossman in that room, but he takes a damage boost from the enemy before that, and uses the invincibility to just fall all the way to the bottom. Alright, so synced Arsonist face, let's see how it goes.
Yeah, they enter the boss fight very closely together. And Zoph is mostly, I think, only doing ranged attacks. Yeah. So I think heyyyhoooo will complete this fight faster with the melee hits he gets in as well. Yes, and there heyyyhoooo finishes the Arsonist, and Zoph slightly after. So heyyyhoooo has caught up and is now slightly ahead of Zoph. But it's they're both still really close.
Oh, no. I don't know if this is intentional and he's memeing or...
Oh, so he spoke to Calf. Maybe he did not want to be called a roach.
Thought he was gonna do the date text or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many times you need to talk to Calf. I think that would be too bad-mannered to do in a race, especially when it is this close. But who knows?
Oh, we don't know if heyyyhoooo's actually watching to see if it's
that is true.
Or not. Alright, so Zoph, 1 black cat. heyyyhoooo also 1 black cat.
Equal cat RNG. Yeah.
The current theory is to have a balanced number of cats, so you don't want to have all one cat color. And that leads to the best RNG.
Okay, yeah, I'm a bit behind in the cat RNG discussion. I haven't kept up with that, so I believe you in this.
Yeah, there's a lot of research being done.
Okay, yeah. I've been busy with other things, so I leave this to you. And Zoph doing his modified strat. Oh, he forgot to equip the incensory. That is why Fennel did not transition to the next phase. Let's see if he can. Oh, yeah. He salvages it and gets the hit no fight. Gets the no hit anyway, which is good.
Yeah, it was a bit spooky, but he managed to get through it.
Yeah. It's not the most difficult fight if you have the air dash, which you unlock after beating Arsonist from the crest there. But in a high pressure situation like this in a race, it can still be difficult to avoid it.
Yeah.
And recover.
So that mishap in Fennel gives Hale the lead solidly now. As he moves through Pina.
Yes, as they move through the Royal Pinecone City, which is my preferred name for the area. How many different names do we have for this area? Like, we have quite a few in the community, because it is quite a unique, special. No, not special. It's not a word you see often, at least. So
yeah, and it's a mouthful. So
yeah, indeed.
I don't blame people for just saying Pina Colada or Pinecone, apparently.
Yes, Pinecone City, Pina Colada. Oh! Heyyyhoooo falls into the spike pit. And he did not take any of the saves after entering Pina Colada. So yeah. Now Zoph is in the lead actually. And we'll see.
Interesting race.
Yeah.
The lead swaps. Which is great, but I mean, they'll have to pay attention. Keep switching the audio.
yeah, you're doing a good job. And yeah, Zoph opting to not take the safety save before Lupiar and Magnolia.
Yeah, the way I saw him do the fight last time, it kind of makes sense. He takes it really slow and safe just to make sure he doesn't get hit on Lupiar when he's trying to do his threads. So loses a little bit of time, but seems like does it consistently.
Yeah. Yeah, the most important part of that fight is to get... Oh, and he gets hit. No. What will he do now? Yeah. The first part with the Bachman patches is the most critical part. Because when one of the attacks Lupiar can do is a roll, which has invincibility frames, same as similar to Kahos.
Yep.
So if you're unlucky, she can do several rolls in a row, and you can do a lot less damage.
Hale trying to speed through it also gets hit. So both runners no heavy arrows.
Okay, so that means the queen fight will be very even for both of them. They have the same. Oh, I only know the Swedish words, or I can't think of the English words. They have the same items going into the fight, at least.
Yep. And there are no more items to get at this point, other than the upgraded leave, which there's no option there. You can't get hit and not get the lead.
Yeah. Yeah, so the item from Lupiar and Magnolia is called Heavy Arrows, which doubles the damage of your arrows. Pretty much. So, yeah, just a solid item in a speedrun.
Yeah. And essentially it's only used on Queen, because the angel is immune to arrows for some reason.
Yeah, the two mini bosses in this game are immune to arrows, and also Lupiar is also immune to arrows.
Yep.
But that one makes sense because she's a knight in armor, and the knight is also a knight. But yeah, the fallen angel or the clone angel is immune to arrows somehow. But we have, as you guys saw in the previous race, we have different strats to handle that.
Yep. This is very close. The runners are on the same screen now. It might come down to Angel RNG.
Yeah.
Or how the runners handle. Oh no.
Oh, Zoph getting hit by the bomb, putting him slightly behind. Ayo. Yeah, this race is just insanely close.
Yeah. That might be the deciding factor here. Zoph gets worse Angel RNG here.
Yeah.
I don't know how familiar heyyyhoooo is with okay, with the queen fight when you don't have heavy arrows, because it is a lot different. You can't do any of the one cycles.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll see how both of the... We'll see. It will be interesting to see how we approach the fight now.
I think optimally you have to just use your bottom patches on the second phase.
I can see that because the second phase has a lot of can have a lot of down time if you don't get the quick cycle, and you can't get it without heavy arrows. Or maybe there's some way to get it. Maybe if you save the missive because it runs out at the beginning of the phase. But yeah. Oh, he's taking. He has taken a lot of damage now. Will he use the tainted missive for the last? No, he's switching to. Wait, he's using sealed wind.
Oh, sealed hard.
Oh, he's using missive. Yeah, I think that's enough health to survive. Pretty sure.
Yeah, but he has to not get hit at all. Anything will kill him here.
Yeah.
And you won't be able to finish the fight before Queen's next attack. So
yeah.
pay attention to that.
And Zoph has his Bachman patches. Oh, and the heyyyhoooo dies. If Zoph survives now, Zoph just has to survive. Hey! Zoph wins the second race.
Wow, game 3.
Is this the first time in the tournament there's a game 3?
Yeah. Huh. You wouldn't have expected it from this one, I think.
Yeah. heyyyhoooo doing has been really good movement and boss mechanics, but making a lot of costly mistakes. Like, I'm surprised he did not take as many bells this time, because he did go for a few saved bells last run, but not to this one. So, and that turned out to be very costly, especially in the Pinecone City.
Yeah.
But yeah, as someone in chat has mentioned, now we get more Momodora, so yeah, I'm fine with this.
Yeah. Very exciting to finally see game 3. It just kind of goes to show, like, this game.
Oh, he's
No.
he's finishing it with Sealed Wind.
Alright, nice finish.
Yeah, so the score is now 1-1 between heyyyhoooo and Zoph. It's moving into the tiebreaker and the third game for the race.
Wow. That is something.
Yeah, it was well played by a well played race by both the runners. heyyyhoooo with several mistakes. Zoph doing a solid run for the most part with his strats and such. Both of them got hit on Lupia and Magnolia. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of mistakes all over the place, but those things happen, you know, in this game. There's a lot of ways to die and lose time just from not getting boss items or whatever.
Yeah, and one thing to mention with this is that in a reg, when you grind any percent, usually if you miss a boss item, you just reset. You don't continue most of the time, unless you're actually practicing for a race or a marathon. So if you miss an item, there is a high chance that you haven't practiced any strats for that situation. So you can come up to a boss where you have a really specific strategy, but then you can't do it because you're lacking a key item and such, which makes racing this game can be very different from regular speedrunning. But it's also very fun because then you get to see some interesting strategies. Yeah, and there's some different strategies that are not just in the any percent speedrun. I wonder if we will get a threadless, if someone will run threadless in the third game, because I find that to be very interesting. But yeah.
I was just reading what's going on with the next race. Looks like it's gonna be starting soon.
Yeah.
Just waiting on heyyyhoooo, I guess. He's taking his time trying to ice off his opponent.
Oh, is there drama going on in the race channel, or?
Nah, just joking around. Yeah. You know, like you want to stop your opponent from riding the momentum into game 3.
Yeah.
I see the countdown now, and they should be getting started any second now.
So okay, now race 3 has begun. Let's see what excitement this game has in store for us today. So as we said, this is the first match in this Momodora tournament that has gone to the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
So this is the most Momodora we have ever gotten from one single match.
Hopefully, Zoph doesn't die in the grove this time.
Oh yeah, that's one of the deaths that feels the worst, because it means you were just trying to save a few frames, and he takes it quite easy there, just to be safe.
Yeah. I'm hoping for a nice clean run from both of the runners this time. Should be. Oh no.
Oh,
As I say
no.
that.
And he did not. Yeah, he did not grab the first bell, so he is back to the beginning.
It's funny too because whenever I do like practice races with heyyyhoooo, he always hits that first bell, just because that kind of roll jump mistake happens to him sometimes. And this was like probably the one time in a race where he doesn't hit that bell and then dies. Very unfortunate.
Yeah, that seems to be quite common for heyyyhoooo this race, where okay, he's taking the bell this time, making sure that he's got it. But as I was going to say, when he hasn't taken a safety bell, there has been a high risk that he has made a mistake after that and paid for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he did not take most of the money. Ideally, you would like to have 20 from that chest, because you get 40 from the second chest and then 20 from the last chest, which puts you exactly at 80, which you need to buy the item. But you can also, you don't need to pick up all of it if you kill a few enemies like he's doing right here.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, he skipped that bell. Let's see if it will come back and bite him later.
And there's only one spike bit that you can reasonably die in, so hopefully nothing bad happens. But really I shouldn't have said anything.
Yeah, true.
Nice.
Yeah, so Zoph did not get the quick kill, but did a clean fight.
Yeah. Got a lot of damage from the fairy there. Sometimes the fairy can actually do like an insane amount of damage and just kill Dea right out. Faster than the quick kill even.
Yeah. It's very fun if you are not doing the quick kill and you get that from the fairy. I sort of got killed by the fairy one time, because one of Edea's attacks here is that she like shoots out a poison bomb from her mouth, and you can destroy that poison bomb, which leaves a poison cloud which can poison you. So the fairy destroyed the poison bomb right next to her head, and I was just, oh yeah, I'm gonna jump and do my melee combo hit, and then I jumped into the poison cloud, which poisoned me.
That's really unfortunate.
Yes, it's one of the more memorable moments for me.
So you can see the lead here. Zoph is pretty much starting Mocha as heyyyhoooo's finishing off Edea. So it's quite a gap there now. See what Lubella does for Zoph.
Yeah, Mocha can be quite hard to learn to deal with, because he can be quite random, similar to the imps, and you have to also defeat him without taking damage. So if you want to be fast and hit him whenever you can, it can be quite a difficult fight to learn. And sometimes if you are not extremely good at the fight, it can feel as if randomness is killing you sometimes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, heyyyhoooo having no trouble with Libella or Mocha. No dives this time, as Zoph is entering the subterranean graves.
Yeah, good RNG for both runners so far. I am curious to know if either of these runners are watching the race as they're playing to see like if they're ahead or whatnot. Because if Zoph knew he was ahead, he could just, you know, take things a little safe, make sure he doesn't die on spikes.
Yeah, he has been playing pretty safe. The other two races. So I think he has good execution on this part, or a very consistent execution. So he got a table both times in the background.
I always gotta watch it when it's a table, because there's a huge change when there's just a chair there afterwards.
Yeah, very important to have. You have woken something in. Now I will always look for what's in the background as well.
I hope all the runners that are watching the race also look into the background now also. So Zoph skips the safety save.
Yeah, I don't think
him.
he has taken it in any of these runs. And he shouldn't need it during the Frida fight, because he is doing the safe, easy to execute strat. And the regular enemies should realistically not kill you here.
Yeah.
So not taking that safety save is shouldn't be too much of a risk for him.
Yeah, I didn't notice that he doesn't roll jump over the spikes or anything either, so realistically no way to die. The only issue is if you get hit on Frida.
Yeah.
He came close to last time because the teleports kind of messed with his rhythm.
Yeah, teleporting can mess with you quite a bit. And heyyyhoooo resetting that room because he fell down. If you mess up that room, it's a lot easier to just reset it to get the swinging platforms back into sync.
Yeah.
Because they have, as soon as you enter the room, they have a very favorable pattern for you to be able to jump up there. And yeah, and Zoph finishes up Frida, no problem, getting the sparse thread. And is now moving on towards Libella 2. As Frida as heyyyhoooo starts the Frida fight.
Yeah, picks up the crest, which allows arrows to charge faster.
Oh yeah, we forgot to explain what the crests do mostly.
That's okay. Uh-oh. Barely got that dog.
I think it's not too bad. It's the first dog that you need to watch out for, because if you don't have a fully charged bow at the time, you won't insta-kill it. So it will be... Yeah, if it decides to do a quick jump, there is a high risk of getting hit. But the second dog, I don't think it can jump through the boss and hit you. I don't think it reaches far enough.
Yeah, but the thing was, he hit the dog once, and then it like got staggered, but it didn't die. So the next jump would have been close enough, and he like just barely killed it before them. I think that's what it looked like to me, at least.
Yeah. Yeah, and Zoph is now entering Libella 2. Let's hope for no dives. And as I say that, oh, he gets the good attack. Let's see what happens now from Libella. Oh, oh, that's rough.
Poison should get her, but it's not going to kill her until near the end of this dive.
Yeah. No, poison ran out. I should have just stayed quiet. I'm sorry, Zoph. It's my bad.
Alright, well let's see what Novella does for heyyyhoooo, if he can gain some time here. And instant die. It always seems like Heyo's just like slowly catching up, and then he gets screwed over by some RNG.
Yeah.
Looking like Sisyphus.
One thing I can mention is that platforming as the cat is a bit trickier than it looks, because the hitbox for where you are it's not the entire length of the cat when you're running, so it can be a bit tricky to know exactly where you are. So with those small platforms, it can take a bit of practice to actually know where you are and where you land. Especially also later in the castle, but before the long elevator, there are a few small blocks like that where there is a possibility that you fall down and die.
Yeah. Most people just kind of don't mess with that and just jump into the block like with the middle of the cat's body just to make sure they don't slide off or barely not make it.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's not that punishing in that area after you kill the Bella 2, because yeah, it's just solid ground beneath and you will just have to do the jump again. But there in the end at Karst Castle, you do it above a spike pit, so there's a high risk of death if you mess up there, which would cost quite a bit of time, because you would have to redo the Lone Angel fight. And so, yeah. Yeah, and that night miniboss that Zoph just killed, it is not super easy if you're playing it casually without the sparse thread. If you don't have the sparse thread, you can use the Bachman patch, also to kill it easily. But if you don't have any of those items, it is not the easiest of fights, because you can't cheese it with arrows, and it has a bit of health, and not the easiest to dodge attacks.
Yeah. It is very nice to have items and just be able to kill him quickly.
Yeah.
You lose quite a bit of time just meleeing him to death.
Yeah. They're
moving through. Finishing the backtrack section. Just about to get to the warp crest.
Yeah, there are 3 main categories you can run in this game. This is the normal any percent. Then there's also a category which is called AVIB, which stands for All Vitality Fragments, Ivory Bugs, and Bosses, which is sort of a 100% category-ish. And then there is the New Game Plus category, where you have all the items you have all the items, so you can do quite a bit of damage and obliterate most bosses. And Heyo missing the cycle in that room, having to wait for the platforms to go back and up again, as Zoph is now entering the Arsonist fight.
So pretty rough missing that cycle. You have to kind of really mess up your movement to not make it in time. It's pretty lenient. So unfortunate for Heyo.
Yeah.
How Zoph does it in Arsonist. He did get hit in the first race, so not guaranteed that he'll make it through unscathed here either.
Yeah, Arsonist is a very stressful fight. And like this, right now I would be pretty worried, because there's fire behind Arsonist, and if she decides to come closer to you, you can be pretty screwed. But yeah,
Uh-oh.
Oh! Oh!
What the?
Oh, that's so clutch. Oh,
That was,
oh,
that was
oh, wow.
very scary.
Yeah,
So the thing with Arsonist's teleport is when she throws little balls at you, they will always stop in front of you and they will never hit you. But when she actually teleports, she erects a huge pillar of flames, and that will hit you if you're right next to the ball.
yeah. Oh, Heyo poisoned himself. So he has to reset the Arsonist fight.
Yeah, not something you see often in the Arsonist fight, but it can happen if you're trying to be very optimal and slide backwards while shooting the other way.
Yeah. Yeah, and the thing that happened to Zoph was he Arsonist did the teleport attack. So what you want to do is to wait until the orbs stop in front of you and then either run back or jump over them as heyyyhoooo just did. But when you're in that situation where you don't have a lot of room to move in, the boss is at low health, you can panic quite easily and yeah, move too early, which makes the orbs chase you. Yeah, so that was a really scary moment, but he pulled it off. Oh,
Yeah.
did you look at cats? I forgot to look at Zoph's cats.
Zoph had one black cat.
Okay, one black.
3 of the other colors. So, good mix. He's doing well there. Oh. Every time I see Zoph's fight for Fennel, it scares me. He almost always gets hit by the lightning.
Yeah, it is different from what you and I are used to.
But it works for him, I guess.
Yeah.
So Zoph has all the crest fragments now and he's going to be making his way to Pina.
Let's see, 2 black cats, 2, yeah, 1 white or 2 white.
He's got 3 black cats there. 2 of the others.
Where's the 3rd one?
It's like above Cotillard. It's hidden.
Okay, yeah, I only saw 2. Okay.
Zoph has a big lead now. No, it's pretty much his game to throw away.
Yeah. And now, do you know what Zoph's PB is at the moment?
I don't know exactly. I'm pretty sure he has like a low 23 though.
Low 20. Okay, yeah.
So he is a good runner.
Yeah.
I believe he's the 6th seed in the tournament. Taking a lot of hits, making his way to the sealed win.
Yeah, so I wonder if
he will.
Yeah, I wonder if he will take the safety save before Lupe and Magnolia this time.
Yeah, we'll
or
see.
not. Yeah, we'll see.
Heyo also entering Pina now, while Zoph makes his way to the end. Yeah, electing to take the safety save to refill his health. I don't know if he's gonna reset if he doesn't get heavy arrows this time. We'll see.
Yeah, I think the nerves are kicking in for Zoph right now.
For sure.
This would be really interesting to see how this pans out. Let's see if he's yeah, he gets the first phase hitless, so he should get the second phase as well, and he gets the heavy arrows.
Nice and easy.
Zoph is now in a very good spot for Queen. And let's see how it goes for heyyyhoooo. He takes the safety save as well.
Not sure why.
Maybe he really wants the heavy arrows because of how the Queen fight went last time without heavy arrows. Maybe he's not confident enough to
yeah, that could
do
be
it
it.
consistently.
That's that. He's making up some time with his movement. Went through Peanut very cleanly. Barely got hit, if at all. But gets a double roll from the card. Takes the hit.
Oh, he gets it. Okay, it doesn't seem like he's resetting. So yeah. Oh, and he doesn't get the one cycle of the second phase, but yeah.
This is a very rough position for heyyyhoooo.
Yeah, it's definitely a steep uphill battle from here for him.
I don't know if his movement will be enough to make up for this deficit.
Especially with his queen fight taking a bit longer without heavy arrows.
Yeah, it seems like his heart is still in it, so. Zoph picks up the upgraded leaf. He's gonna be making his way to queen now. These runners were in the same game, they were passing each other right about now.
Yeah, Navix has confirmed that Zoph's PB is a low mid 23. Yeah. Now heyyyhoooo is picking up his leaf upgrade. And it seems like he's roughly half a minute behind. And I'm not sure if, even if they did the same boss strats, I still think Zoph will be ahead because it's not that much platforming left. So I don't think heyyyhoooo could catch up 30 seconds of platforming or end movement.
Yeah. A lot of the time in the segment is just spent on an elevator, so.
Yeah.
We'll see what the Angel RNG is. Not a huge deal, but could be the difference. He gets fairly bad RNG. Not the worst, though.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't cost too much time. It's mostly the time it takes to run to the right in order to find it, because the barrier disappears pretty much in sync with when you get to the edge of the room anyway, even if you are the furthest to the right you can be.
Yeah.
So bad RNG on the angel fight doesn't really cost too much time. Lubella is the worst when it comes to RNG time loss.
For sure.
And now Zoph is heading into the queen fight, and on this pace he could I think he can reach a low 24, which is very solid.
Oh, he's just barely gonna miss the one cycle. Oh, he got it.
No, he got it. It seems like he did slightly different strats than what we are used to. Yeah, he gets the one cycle, a quick phase 2 as well, and
that's, yeah, gonna be it.
He should have the last phase as well. He has been consistent with that when he has heavy arrows.
Yeah,
it's
the
not
thing
over
about
yet.
This game. Yeah.
There is a risk that you actually melee into the big explosion, and they almost did that. And GG. Zoph takes this. GG.
Game 3 upset. 6th seed over 3rd seed.
This has been a really good race.
This is kind of a showcase of what can happen with the volatility of this game.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really happy that I got to that I agreed to commentate this race, because with a race this interesting and this wild, I did not want to miss this.
Yeah, this was something.
Yeah. The heyyyhoooo coming on to the last phase of Queen and finishing up the fight. Let's see if he can finish this up. Oh no! Oh, he thought he could end it. Is he forfeiting now? Yeah, seems that he reset his timer, I think.
Yeah, well, I mean, he knows that the race is already over.
Yeah.
He doesn't really want to bother with finishing out the run with heavy arrows. Wow. That was something. The first game 3, first big upset in the tournament.
Hey.
Hello, Zoph. Welcome. Congratulations.
Thanks. I'm quite surprised of the result of this race.
Yeah, it is a bit of an upset in the tournament seeding, but there was 3 really good races, and yeah.
Yeah. I don't really know what to say because I'm really surprised. I really thought I was gonna to be beaten hard by heyyyhoooo because he's got a PB 2 minutes ahead of me.
Yeah,
But
I saw that in the race chat after the run, where you were pretty much already admitting defeat. You stuck with it.
maybe the fact I don't know some of really aggressive strat served me this time.
Yeah, I think that is definitely one thing that helped you, because heyyyhoooo had, especially in the second race, had a lot of costly mistakes. They were like, oh, sometimes you roll into spikes and things like that. So yeah, I definitely think that you playing it safe made you more consistent, and which helped you win this race, definitely.
For my level, it wasn't that safe because I knew it was a lot better for me. I tried all strat I knew, and I got lucky, I think. And maybe the fact I'm doing a lot of races on other game served me not to choke on race. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know the experience of heyyyhoooo on races.
You've done a decent amount of races just for Momo recently for the tournament, so I mean, he's not unfamiliar with it.
But I'm happy. It's okay. I'm still in the winner bracket, so it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. One moment we really need to commentate on is the arsonist fight of the third race. Oh, that was a very clutch finish to that fight. Like, what were you thinking during the end of that fight?
On the fight with the arsonist?
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, I said I need to kill her really quickly, or I'm going to do the fight again. And I tried, and it passed. It was quite a gamble at the end of the fight, but that was okay. Finally.
Yeah, it was definitely one of a very hype moment of this series of races.
And I got scared at the really end of the run when my arrows didn't release correctly, so I had to kill the the queen really quickly before her next attack, and it was okay too. I got some luck on this run, honestly. But I'm really happy.
Good. So your next race is going to be against the winner of Nan and Ducky.
Hi.
Okay.
What's up?
Hello, heyo.
Yeah, that was interesting, wasn't it?
Good luck on the next race, so.
Oh yeah, thank you.
I will try to improve my personal PB.
Ducky.
Okay.
Same.
That's for the next term. I try.
All right, sounds good.
Good luck on the next race, so. So I have nothing more to say
I
this
will-
time. I will try
Alrighty.
to improve
Congratulations, then.
my
Thank
personal
you for
PB.
joining us.
Yeah, GG.
For
That's
that very
yeah,
entertaining
for the
race.
next term.
Oh, was it? I didn't see what happened.
Yeah.
Hope you liked it.
All right, hey,
So,
let's hear it.
I
How
have
do you feel about
nothing
your
more to say
performance
this
today?
time.
The first race was pretty good.
Thank
for
you.
joining us.
Well, it was decent at least.
Thank you
And
for
after that, I
that
can't really
very
remember.
entertaining race.
Everything just became black and.
Hope you liked it.
No, it was. Yeah,
All
that's
right, hey,
the
let's hear
second
it.
and
How do you
third
feel
race
about
were
your performance
kind
today?
of train wrecks. But I mean, that happens.
Yeah, it
Just
definitely does happen in this game.
Gotta be less nervous, I guess.
Were you nervous?
Yeah, very.
Were you
Yeah.
watching the races like on the side?
No.
So you didn't know like whether you were ahead or behind in any of the
No.
races?
Yeah, no, I had no idea.
Yeah, it definitely does happen in this game.
But yeah,
You did
wow.
show off
Were you
a
nervous?
few really cool strats, especially
Were you watching the races
Yeah,
in the
like,
first
on the side?
race with Zip in
So you didn't know like whether you were
on
ahead
the
or
way to
behind
Warp
in any
Crest,
of the
and
races?
also the in the what's it called subterranean graves when you abuse the invincibility frames after getting hit by the
show off a few really
Shrine Maiden
cool
enemies
strats,
there,
especially
to
Yeah.
run on the spiked
the
floor.
first race.
Which it's fun to see.
Would have been a
strats
bit,
like
On
a
the way
bit
to
cooler if I
Warp
didn't
Crest,
choke everything
and
else.
also
But
the
get
oh yeah, hey, we're getting some complaints for
you abuse the
Complaints
invincibility
for what?
frames. After
I think it might be
About
your
your
audio
performance.
Shrine Maiden enemies
being
there
streamed.
to run on
or
the
it-
spiked floor.
It's your audio or Zoph's audio
it's
being
fun to
streamed
see.
to the.
Oh
stuff like
yeah,
that.
I'm streaming. Okay, whatever. I've ended the stream now. Sorry for that.
Oh yeah, hey, we're getting some
all
complaints
good.
for.
Don't worry about the
I
nerds
think-
in the chat.
I think. It
Oh
might
my
be
god.
your audio
I can't believe
being
these
streamed.
last two races actually happened.
It's your
I
audio or
mean,
Zoph's audio.
we knew it
being
was a
streamed to-
possibility from just like our practice races. Like both of us were getting 26s and stuff. So those things definitely happen while racing this game.
Yeah.
Are you gonna change anything? You're gonna be racing Ladnock in the bracket of alternative success.
Wow.
Oh, I like that. I like the title for that bracket. I will adopt that name for that bracket as well.
I really,
It makes me
really
feel better.
didn't see this coming.
Gonna do
But
some safer strats maybe. Maybe take
I
the
mean-
safety bells in the Grove.
yeah, I need to hit that one bell a little bit more.
Yeah, it seemed to be like on the
Wow.
first run you took a lot of safety bells, and then you stopped doing that, or you took less of them in the second run, and we noticed that it didn't really pay off. You had a few costly mistakes where you died and got sent to a bell quite a bit back.
Yeah, I died a lot and in very stupid ways.
Yeah.
But yeah, guess that happens once in a blue moon. So
Yeah, races are a very different beast from regular any percent grinding. It's
But yeah.
nerds. You can't reset. So yeah.
oh yeah, I was really tempted to, but can't really do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Guess have to not race. What did I want to say? Guess I have to race in the other bracket now. But it's fine.
It's all in good fun.
Yeah. It was definitely funny. I guess we can agree on that.
Yeah. I
So-
think you'll have fun watching the fact if you decide to watch that. But
Maybe in a few years when I've like
get over the trauma.
when I'm over it, when I've talked to my therapist a bit.
And that's fair
But
enough.
yeah. Nah, I'll probably watch it and laugh about myself. So, yeah, GG's and stuff.
You
And,
two have played, both of you. It was a
Yeah.
very entertaining race to watch and commentate. So.
Yeah, I can imagine. So, all right. Yeah, see you.
Yeah,
All right.
thank you.
I'm out.
Good luck in the rest of your races.
Yeah, thanks. You too.
Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah,
Oh.
I guess that's it for us today. Or do you have anything else you want to say before we end this race?
Yeah. You can catch some more Momodora action. I don't know which channel it's going to be on, but Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern, that will be me versus Elzam. And then on Sunday, we will have Pawn versus GFM at 7 p.m. Eastern. So, drop a follow for Speed Gaming if you're interested in checking out some more Momodora Referee Under the Moonlight races. And thanks to the Speed Gaming guys for hosting this.
Yeah, if you're interested in learning this game, we have a Discord channel that is also linked in the !Momodora info packet here on Speed Gaming. And we're a friendly community here. So if you want to learn the run, we have quite a few resources to help you get started. And we welcome all new runners of this game. Yeah. I guess that's it for us then.
Alrighty. Thank you for watching. We're signing off.